What are you doing next weekend?
Hello, wife. Are we home soon?
It's not easy getting a weekend off, let alone 3 days away from the wife and kids, and taking a motorbike. I got together with some mates in Bright to organise a ride.
Chris Hughes, John Brooker is coming, Luke's plus another bloke from Melbourne. He's bringing a mate of his.
We're just organising a ride. Are you in? We'll leave Friday morning here, Omeo Friday night, Saturday in Bright, Saturday night at the Wandy pub.
What are you doing next weekend?
I'd managed to get myself a leave pass, and Jason had assured me he had one as well.
Well, if I went away for a weekend, would I need to ask? Would I need to organise a babysitter?
You knew you'd get this reaction, didn't you?
That's good.
That's why they came to your house.
Looks as though Jason's still got plenty of work to do. Speaking of work, I've never done any on my bike. It's a DRZ 400 and it's in dire need of a service. Last time I rode it there was a knock in the top end. I took it to Raceway Suzuki in Keilor, Victoria. Damien and his guys didn't waste any time. They got stuck straight into it.
Locking adjustments.
And after I left, they got stuck straight into me.
Jesus, he's got his garden growing in here, Wayne. Yep, it's time for a new filter. I can't believe that's even changing gears. Doesn't look like it's ever any grease in the grease nipples.
My brother-in-law Hughesy had just sold his XR400 and he wasn't going to come on the ride. I offered him my old IT250. It hadn't run for over a year, but it was still registered. He assured me he could get it going. The back wheel bearings were absolutely rooted, and also it didn't have electric start.
It's too easy pushing a button, mate. Much rather do it.
Halfway up the hill?
You just turn around and go back there.
What's your tips for trying to get 3 days off?
I'll be very nice and do the dishes and clean up after tea, after she cooks tea and things like that. Just be nice in general. But not say too much, here she is now. Right, can I go on a 3-day ride weekend with the boys?
You're kidding, aren't you? You just went on one. You got work to do.
Right.
You
what?
run along, you wash the car.
What, your car?
We've got to get these things done. We've got them up. When are we
Put
going
the
to get them
trusses
up?
up. Yeah, no, they'll eventually get up.
Yeah, in 6 bloody months' time.
Was that a yes? Hughesy had pulled the plug out and gave it another run. Success. Setting a fine example for the children, Hughesy was now a definite starter.
See you there!
Now for the good news. Cost me a fortune.
Thanks, Steve. There you go.
Very funny. Very funny.
What do you mean? This is your bike. We just get a bit of a clean up. It's all serviced, ready to go.
Yeah? Well, that cost me much.
Mate, just don't tell your wife, you'll be right.
A mate of mine, Mick, who we'll meet later on, gave me a bum bag for Christmas. I had no idea what went in it. Damien from Raceway Suzuki
Tyre up.
showed me exactly what you should carry in a
This is the one for
toolkit.
the lazy rider. You don't have to pump, you just push the trigger.
Sounds good to me.
Toolkit. Very compact, good quality, screwdrivers, sockets, just about all the sizes that you'll mainly need to get your bike apart. Spark plug, good to have a spare. Duct tape, very useful. This little kit here, it's the cable repair kit. Break your throttle cable or clutch cable, get you out of trouble. You don't need to solder any fittings, screw them up, away you go. tyre leathers. Pays you to have 2 of these. Chain link. Always pays you to carry a spare. Just make sure you get the right length to suit your chain. Tyre gauge, first aid kit. Quite handy if you happen to injure yourself. You can do some repairs on yourself. GPS, handy little tool. Don't cost a lot of money these days, and you can pinpoint where you are at any time. Your little Allen keys, they're quite useful because all the new bikes have a lot of Allen keys on them. Take 2 of these 4 times a day and you'll be right. You'll have a good ride.
Sounds like good advice from Damien. As I got my bike,
Have you told your wife yet?
kind of,
My missus will kill me, officially.
especially when she sees the bill. Over the other side of town, Jeff, who's a plumber, was itching to go.
See you on
As John
Sunday,
said goodbye to
Sunday
the
night.
wife and kids,
Sunday.
he left with a standard dirt biker's farewell.
See ya.
Two other mates with young kids have managed to get the weekend off as well. Glenn, who's a pastry chef, owns Arnold's Cakes, and they make the best cakes in Melbourne. He was being picked up by Terry. Terry's an XR400 rider, and he's ready for a good time.
Got my best friend and my wallet, my 2 best friends, and an able body.
Back over at Hughesy's house, John and Jeff had arrived to pick him up. As they packed his gear and the bike, his little bloke Billy didn't want him to go. Don't worry, Billy. You'll be safe on the IT. Accessoride was the meeting place. This shop caters not only for dirt bikers, but the road bikers as well. Owner Trevor Thomas explains what the dirt biker needs to wear.
First thing we need is a decent helmet. It must have Australian standards sticker on it, and lightweight, good construction and good vision area. They can range from $250 up to around $650. I can't believe, Steve, the guys who come in and they forget to buy these things. It's because they're not seen under the nylons. People do forget to get them. They are one of the most important products you can buy to protect the body. If you happen to come off in a riverbed or while you're trying to attack one of the gnarly hills, the knee guards are the thing to have. They attach to the legs, just around the back of the calf area, and sit inside the boot, and with a nylon over the top, so they hold in place. The new brand of nylons has plenty of protection, Kevlar inserts, and in the knee area to give you the protection if you happen to come off on the road. Hip pads, and there's plenty to choose from, ranging from around $180 up to $300. Anyway, if you're going to buy some goggles, you've got to get a dual lens. The dual lens will stop the goggle from fogging up in the deepest river crossings. Okay, the choice is yours. You can go the entry level, or you can go the primo top of the range. This the boot department is critical because not only are you going to get really wet feet, they need your leg area and your foot area needs maximum protection. Holy shit!
Bloody hell, check out the sloppy milk.
That's fucked. Oh my god.
As Trevor has a quick look at the IT, we take a quick look at where we're going.
Homeo. Collingwood. They got
No chance. That's all.
Another mate of ours, John, and his wife are having another baby, and he's trying to sneak out for a day's ride. He plans to meet us halfway.
I'll see you there.
See you, mate.
Good luck, champ.
See you, mate.
As the boys were saying farewell to wives and kids, we were waiting on Mick and 4 of our bikes. We had to meet Huffy at the Alpine Hotel in Bright in 2.5 hours.
Let's go, eh?
As we took off on the inaugural My Missus Will Kill Me tour, it's time to check out some of the Melbourne boys' stats, what bike they're riding, and how hard it was to get away from the weekend. Hughesy, IT250, 36, married, and 3 kids. Glenn Jones, RMX 250, married, 2 kids, 1 on the way, 38. John Brooker, KDM 400, 40, married, 2 kids. Terry O'Connor, XR 400, 37, married, 2 kids. Mick, TTR 250, 38, Axe 12, married. He wishes, kids, everywhere. John Cohen, WR 426, pushing 40, married with 4 kids. Jason Reed, XR 650, 41, married, 1 kid. John Stones Nixon, DRZ 400, 38, married, 1 kid with 1 due any day. Me, DRZ 400, 39, married and 3 kids. After a lap of the Bright Memorial, we go inside the Alpine to meet Huffy, local legend, Australian Speedway champion and our lead rider.
Tomorrow we've got a monstrous day. It's a couple hundred kilometres, you know, in the stroke. I gather you are all fit and well and wake up fit and well. Not going to drink too much and all that. But it'll be a good day. We've got to get away. We've got to get away early. There'll be breakfast here, I think, at 6:30, and 7 o'clock out of Jason's, 8 o'clock leave.
What better way to start the day than with a gut full of bacon? When we arrived out at Jason's, the temperature was -1. Jason had had a family crisis and he had to go to Melbourne, but we borrowed his house. He was going to try and join us a day later.
Still get a bit wet, but we'll be right.
Oh no, it's a problem.
As the boys put the finishing touches on their bikes, the tech support team were packing the truck with fuel and the Barbie. Glenn was trying to keep warm,
2 pairs of socks. No dramas.
and Husey was quietly confident. He had measuring 2-stroke down pat. That'll do. Mick was getting ready for some water crossings, and Husey was giving the IT a last-minute tweak. Hilly and a few locals from Wodonga were joining us just for the day. They'd ride with us till lunch, and then make their way back to Wodonga. They had to get home by dark, or their missus would kill them. As Husey was trying out some real suspension, Huffy did a last-minute head count and began the brief.
15 bikes all up. Oh, that's good. How it's going to work, we're going to do the corner man system. There'll be a lead rider and a tail rider, obviously indicated by these lovely vests. And when you come, the lead rider will stop on any corner. If it's a T intersection, you know, he may go straight through. Don't ever turn off, right? But a corner, he'll always point the second rider there. He'll wait there, and he must not leave there until Buddha comes through, right? Which is a tail rider. Don't leave whatever you do, because that means everyone else gets lost behind you.
You'll be sitting there and no one will come along for an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes if you get a flat tyre or have a bit of drama. But whatever you do, don't leave the corner, because if we lose someone, you can lose them for days. So
We were privileged to have Buddha along as our tail rider. Having been Mick Doohan and Kenny Roberts' mechanic, I'm sure he's going to come in handy. It was spot on 8 o'clock as we took off. The boys were excited and a lot of them were on one wheel. Not me though, I was just waving to the camera. We had 200 k's to cover today. We had to get to the Omeo pub. Our tech support team were going via the bitumen and we were going off-road. But Husey was going a bit early. Hang on Husey, not yet. Buddha had the job of keeping an eye on the IT down the back. That morning the hills were alive with the sound of dirt bikes. The first part of this trip was via some dirt roads. I had a vantage point up the front. I was chasing Huffy and Hilly from Wodonga. Hilly had to get back tonight before his wife would kill him. As we all went around the puddle, Husey decided it's not his bike, I'm going straight through. We decided to put a camera on Husey and the IT in the hope that we may get some good vision. I had a feeling we'll be right. The only problem is it's my bike and my camera. As Yuzi had made his way to the front, we saw the corner system starting to work. And my IT. With 199k still to go, it looks like the IT's standing up pretty well. All our hands were starting to feel the cold. It was 1 degree below zero, and I think that puddle was starting to catch up on Hughesy. One more corner ahead, and it won't be long until we're into the bush. It's the only time Mick passed him all day. Once again, the corner system. Very important. This way we don't get lost. Steady, Hughesy, steady. We're off the bitumen and onto dirt, which was a good sign. Once again, I was still up the front. It's about the only time I'll be at the front for the whole day. The DRZ was standing up to it pretty well. And so far, it's pretty cruisy. But not for long.
Time to get warm. It's fucking freezing. Oh, chin's a bit numb.
Huffy started us out on a tight single track with plenty of small logs and branches. Wes Reed from Bright, who was on a 426, was trying to keep up with Huffy. He wasn't doing a bad job. Mick was on a TTR 250 and had Hughesy right up his clacker. After the tight stuff, it opened up with some small water crossings and some four-wheel drive tracks. I was chasing Wes, but meanwhile up the front, Huffy was setting the pace. Another creek crossing, and I had Wes in my sights. We passed a guy from Wodonga on a black Stealth KTM. It was the first breakdown of his day. Huffy meanwhile was getting right out amongst it on his KTM 400. I was passed by Jeff the plumber. He was also on a two-stroke. And Hughesy had made his way through the pack. He was on the IT and he had Huffy in his sights. By this stage, the temperature was now at about -3. The black Stealth KTM had passed us all. He was a good rider, and I'd gained myself a vantage point behind Mick. At -3, the camera was starting to fog up as well. I was sure that if I stayed behind Mick for the day, I'd get some good footage. I was right. I jumped straight off my bike and left it in the creek. I had to get the shot. I was a bit worried. I thought Mick might be injured. But he was laughing. He couldn't hurt that head.
That was awesome.
Oh, great, thanks.
Did you get it too, Buddha?
Yeah, I think so. Oh no, I can't. Fuck, I've got to pick it.
Pick my bike up, will you?
I hit this. That fucking thing there. I come through here and I hit right in that gut.
Huffy and the boys in the meantime were well out in front. After Mick's crash, we had plenty of time to make up, but our pace was fairly quick. We were going along nicely over the top of a ridge. There was myself, Buddha and Mick, and we came across the black KTM. Looks like it's a puncture.
Just got to hit a bit of a rock.
This is how you fix a puncture in the bush.
Soil erosion.
Soil erosion. That's a nice fucking word.
Wash out. Thought it was going to end in tears, but it worked out alright.
The good thing about dirt bike riders is that they all chip in. It's also handy having Buddha watching on.
No.
Husey was getting amongst it,
Yeah.
and so was Wes. He had the job of holding up the black KTM. Mick had just fucked off and left us. I was wondering how long Buddha could sit back and watch for. We still had some time to make up. We'd only done 20 Ks. As they all pitched in and helped each other, I got a lesson in how to fix a puncture in the bush.
As you put it on.
Oh, yeah. There's got a piercer in there, and it just pierces into that.
Yep.
No idea if I can fuck it up for you.
Raise your fingers to the bottom.
I was going to make sure that I had some of those.
Happen by hand for the next 10 minutes.
There he goes. That took about, what?
Oh, 1.5 minutes.
It's a pretty good effort there. Looks as though he's had his bad luck for the day. We still had 10 Ks to go, and the pace was fairly quick. As the tracks opened out, we had to catch up to the others in front. As Huffy and all the boys up the front made it into Tawonga Gap, tech support crew were there, ready and waiting. A few tricks, and Big Terry on the XR400 was just pacing himself.
Hey? Alright until I fell. Fucking still sore. Bloke come off. You know the bloke in the black bike?
Mick had ducked off earlier and left us
Just fixing it
behind.
up, that's how I beat him. That's what I looked. I only looked at 30 Ks we've done. Shit.
How many Ks have you done? What'd you do, Mick?
Coming out of the drink, mate, tried to get up, bang, straight down.
Zigging shit as zag?
Oh yeah, zig and zag and banging.
Did you land in the water?
Oh no, my helmet straight into a rock. And I said, get it off me, just get it off me. Steve started trying to be serious, but laughing.
Yeah, Mick, just pour that all over yourself.
You'll be right. Yeah.
As Husey arrives on the IT, they're still in one piece. And our black KTM had made it.
Puncher.
Puncher.
Sorry, boys.
That was well done.
Ready to go.
That's one way to slow you down, mate.
Yeah.
Let your tyres go.
I've got about 95 pounds in there now. Should be right, I think.
As tech support filled the last tank, Husey cranked up the IT. Sounded good, Husey. We had 170 Ks to go and we had to get a move on. We decided to throw a camera on John Brooker, who was riding a KTM 400. John used to race enduros and thought that he could catch a bit of the action up the front with Huffy. As the black KTM made his way through the pack, the sun was proving to be a bit of a problem. We made it to the top of the hill. At some stages there, the boys were doing well over 100 Ks. But our tech support team, they were just taking their time. They had to meet us for lunch. It was their job to have the barbie ready for us. Everything seemed to be going well. So we came across the black KTM. It just wasn't his day.
Let me cut it back.
Cut it at the split, buddy. Just pull it down from the other end and you should be able to get it.
We'd split a radiator hose. And once more, Buddha was on hand to give some advice. This was a long way from the Grand Prix tracks.
Can I borrow your pump?
Should have pissed on that. Is that an old trick, Hilly?
Granny's trick.
While the boys were checking tyre pressure, no one wanted another flat.
That do blood pressure at the same time.
Big Terry was cracking jokes. And you can see the benefits of carrying a camelback, not only for yourself, but for a radiator leak. Once again, we'd made another repair in the bush, because everyone carried the right tools. By this stage we were very late for lunch, and I could smell the barbie. I didn't realise we'd have to chase the steaks down the hill. As we made our way into lunch, the tech support team had everything up and ready, and the boys were hanging for a good feed. As we all made our way in an orderly fashion, Husey was still giving the IT a caning. He seemed to have a problem with the brake. Tech support had everything underway, and it wasn't long before we got into some liquid refreshments and a few good stories.
I had a pretty close one. I was following I come up behind the I2 real quick. I went to cross over to pass. I clipped his back wheel. Did you hear that when I clipped your back wheel earlier today? It went on the knobbies.
Clocked us going across the top up there before on that bit of flat stuff. 120 clicks.
Fair dinkum. He's just trying to take the back brakes off so he can go faster. There's no fear of slowing down then, you see.
Is that right?
Don't need brakes.
Ride was good. Ride was good, fast. Some stages, you sometimes forget that you have to slow down, and then all of a sudden you're out of control. Most of the time.
Oh, it's a bit scary out there. It's a bit dusty.
No prangs, not unless someone's going to run into me. But no, we did all right. We did all right. I think everyone's unscathed. I think no scratches. Following Mick's a highlight. Where is Mick? Following Mick's a highlight, without a doubt.
It's everyone's highlight. What's a Mick?
Geez, my bike sounds good.
Oh! The bike's 10 metres in front of him.
He got the close up.
I jumped off my bike to get the shot.
Mick's stack proved to be a lunchtime highlight, and we played it over and over and over again.
Watch them plastics.
But we still had a long way to go. With the Wodonga boys heading back home and taking the Jinx Black KTM with them, we headed off in the opposite direction. Hopefully we could catch up some of the lost ground. As tech support packed up the Barbie and headed to the next refuel, we had a bit of bitumen to cover. Huffy had had one too many beers at lunchtime. Kids, don't try this at home. I thought I'd show you one of my tricks. It's about the extent of my riding ability. Buddha was showing us a couple down the back as well. Up the front though, Huffy and John Brooker were giving it what for. The track was dusty and a lot of the terrain was burnt out in the fires. With the black KTM out of the way, we were making good time. We'd been riding fairly fast for an hour and a half, and Mick was hanging out for a breather.
Clean it up though, isn't it? You see where it's bad, you see these spreads.
Stop too much.
Yeah.
Stack up and go.
How long we got, Huffy?
Hopefully about 2 hours. If everything goes well.
Eh?
About 2 hours if everything goes well. No breakdown.
The boys had stopped to look at Mount Kosciuszko. It's over there somewhere. I'd stopped to get a vantage point. John Brooker and Huffy were going hard at the front. And as I said, the track was pretty dusty. I was hoping to catch a good stack. Here's a good chance with Hughesy. Woodder was taking up the rear.
Oh, fuck.
If I missed the stack I wanted. Hughesy had flipped the IT.
This is remnants.
Carnage.
Carnage from the Blue Demon up here. Come on, have a word from him.
What happened?
Oh, it's too much power. The IT.
Slight error in judgment.
Too much power. It likes to run on one wheel.
Could you flip it?
Yeah. She went backwards.
Can you do it? I didn't get it. Can you do it again?
Hughesy was very obliging, and he very nearly did it again. We've now just crossed Midder River,
My crack's fucking wet.
Cut the audio out the whole film.
and Huffy was checking the last leg.
Oh, anyway.
We ready to do
Yep.
Just got here.
Snake out.
Yeah, it's about
Grab a
right.
snake for the troll.
Oh, beauty.
Hughesy was looking after the interests of the boys. He provided us with a bag full of snakes.
You want one, Stephen?
Bit of energy food, mate. I'll take an orange one.
You only want one, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. You can have two, mate.
Thanks, mate. Packing them in the IT.
They go in the special compartment down the back. Easy access.
How's she running?
Eh?
How's she running?
Charm, he's a Mr. Big all day.
Wooder's going back to the back, fella.
You nearly killed me.
All right.
Time to ease up.
Come back to Papa, mate. I knew you wouldn't get sick of seeing the back of my head.
With a few creek crossings left, it was a fairly easy run home. So far we'd made it through unscathed. The only trouble we'd had was the black KTM. We covered 190 k's. We only had 10 k's to go. Big Terry was making it look easy. Once again, tech support were right on time. They were to meet us at the bottom of the mountain as we came out. With 7 riders in, tech support were wondering where the others were. So was I. I saw Buddha come flying around the corner and my first thought was Hughesy on the IT. But it was Big Terry.
Oh. Hey, Dum-Dum. Where is he?
He's behind you getting Panadine. Is this extra?
Cheers.
I'm right here, buddy.
You know that thing on the video, me missus will kill me.
Where's that? Tape or something, boys?
A bit of tape, boys.
Tape.
Oh, that's it.
Hold it underneath.
Hang on. We need to hold it in under his arm, under it, the front here. What have I got in my hand?
Get this bag off your hand. Just slide the bag off. Slide the bag off.
More important than a toolkit is a really good first aid
Slide the
kit.
bag off.
Back at the pub, Hughesy was the
Behind
eyewitness.
him, he's going nice and slow. There's boards running vertical and there's horizontal boards. And he didn't know which ones to go on, and he got both wheels caught on the vertical boards. And then it grabbed, and he went along, and then the front wheel kicked in and rode up, and he went straight into the side of the bridge with his arm and his head, and wasn't very nice.
Is he married or kids? Right?
Yeah.
2 kids. Did his wife come down and pick him up?
He gave me strict instructions, don't call her.
Yeah, I've just broken me bloody arm. Don't say nothing. I don't want me. I'm going to ring. I'm all right. There's no dramas. It's, just take it easy. I'll ring her. I'll ring her again at home. All right. I'm just at Omeo anyway. I'm all right. It's just pride more than anything, and all the rest of the crap that goes with it. So.
While Terry's in for a long night, back at the pub, Mick and Wes have got their own problems.
One of the lovely beds that you roll into the centre and you can't get out of in the morning.
Toast for Terry.
Hiya, Terry. Break a leg.
As the night wore on, all they could talk about was poor old Terry.
When he got to his feet, he wants to buy an XR400.
Is that what he said?
I just sold one. He did.
The next morning it was sunny, but it was -2.
How many bikes did we start with?
12.
Glenn was out by 2, if you take out Terry.
Got some good news and bad news.
What's that?
The IT's there, but she's covered in frost.
We'll have to get the warm water out over that seat, mate, before we start. Get the kettle on and boil with it. Brekkie started yet?
Sure.
Oh, they got cocoa pops here.
Didn't look like it, just sausages and more bacon.
Diet. Bacon, and more bacon. How are you feeling?
Poor old Buddha wasn't looking that well. He and Huffy had a huge night.
You saw heads this morning?
You could say that. You saw everything.
And Mick and Wes.
Tech support. Morning, boys. Night.
Tech support.
Tech support? Tech support is very sick.
Tech support gave it a caning, but they were first up.
What fleet?
And Huffy was as bad as Buddha. Outside, Jeff the plumber had a few problems with his rear brake.
Too low, doesn't pick up quick enough. I can't. It's either on or off. It doesn't locks up or just not there at all.
Little did he know he was going to have to use it later on.
Are they the 3 blokes that come with us last time?
We didn't laugh as hard this time.
Have you had the oil change in these forks?
Buddha was asking technical questions,
About anything.
Things feel like they got.
and Husey was checking to see if the IT had been tampered with.
I don't think there's any movement in this wheel. Jesus, wheelbarrow.
That's right.
Get another 300,000 k's in that. Yeah. Still covered by warranty. I'll send it back. We get back then. I reckon this thing's got a concrete warranty.
Concrete warranty, that's all right.
Oh, due for its first service, isn't it?
As the boys packed up,
Ready for another day at the trails.
Johnny Brooker started out very happy.
That important.
Mick and Husey knew he had a flat the night before, but they
We knew
didn't
we
tell him.
wouldn't change it tonight, mate, because he was thinking about beer, so I'd rather change it last night than
Plus,
this
we
morning.
didn't tell him because he wet us.
That's right.
He wet us.
Johnny wasn't too happy.
So where we going, huh?
To bed.
Dinner plane first for lunch, and then Harryville and Wollongong.
For more beer.
You want a hand, mate?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Good.
It was a good effort by Buddha to chip in and give John a hand, considering he had a massive hangover.
How you making it look easy, Pete?
You got a pump? Just a little bit of air in that. Oh, you got a CO2 bottle.
Just as well we emptied that barrel last night.
Actually, it felt a bit funny in the front end coming in that last bit. On the way. Didn't realise.
We had a good day yesterday. We didn't see anyone out in the bush, but today we're going to see people. So just whatever you do, stick to your left. Yeah, head-ons are a pain in the arse. Hopefully we'll have a good day. A bit better than yesterday. Although yesterday was good, but apart from the last 10 minutes.
You want an update on Terry? Where'd he go?
Bairnsdale.
He went in an ambulance to Bairnsdale Hospital. Then they flew him up to Melbourne to Essendon Airport. Then he caught another ambulance to the hospital and then had it reset overnight, didn't he?
He said I could wear his jacket too.
Like don't stand next to him. Well, his jacket's very popular. The XR looks a bit lonely.
Okay, everyone, we have a new member of the group for today. His name's Dumpy. Fella over here in the racing gear. Make him feel welcome, and I'm sure he'll entertain us for the day. So have a good ride and let's enjoy.
Where's the minute silent for Terry?
We all took off in textbook fashion, except for me. Day 2, and our destination is Dinner Plain Hotel for lunch. We'd given cameras to the faster guys today. Huffy, Buddha, John Brooker, Jeff, Glenn Jones, and whoever else wanted to get up the front. We were quite prepared to take our time down the back and let these guys battle it out up there. This camera angle shows why it pays to be at the front, and also why Huffy comes in every day spotless. Buddha was sitting 5 back and keeping an eye on everyone. The boys were having quite a bit of fun up the front and creating a bit of dust for poor old Buddha. He was doing the right thing by my camera, whereas Glenn couldn't give a shit. This part of the track was pretty tight, but you got to watch out for fallen trees. Jeff had made his way through the pack and he was now running 3rd. Hope his brake's going to work. Glenn had now made his way to 4th and the boys were fairly moving. Jeff had now made his way to the front and Huffy was right up his clacker and putting the pressure on. Whoa! Did you see that? Let's have another look at that. Those gum trees don't move much at 100 k's an hour. In fact, they don't move at all. Let's have another look from Huffy's camera. After that little incident, Jeff went back down the pack and stopped off for a quick one. John Brooker, however, was at the front of the pack and giving Huffy a bit of curry. The track was getting slippery. As John soon found out.
Yeah, twice.
With that leg over and incident-free, or nearly incident-free, we made our way into the Dinner Plain Hotel for lunch. Once again we could smell that bacon. As Jeff made a stylish entry, Wes and Mick twirled in. Husey and I came in side by side, till he cut me off. Dumpy, who had joined us earlier today at Omeo, was one of the owners of the Dinner Plain Hotel. They put on a fantastic spread and they cater for dirt bike riders.
Yesterday lunchtime we all had beer. We all started drinking lolly water.
That's because they got stuck into it last night.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I just bought this for the other guys.
Also sporting a hangover, Johnny Cohen got stuck into a lemon squash. Whilst outside, guess what? Another barbecue. This one's a bit more upmarket. Inside, I'd prepared a few tapes and whacked them up on the big screen. Huffy had been telling everybody about Jeff's near miss with the big gum tree.
Oh, let's see that again.
While we're at it, we thought we'd have one more look at Mick. After lunch, we prepped up for the cold ride across the top of Mount Hotham and down to Harrietville.
Get that tip. Tip from Buddha. Cold weather. Gaffer tape over there.
Stop your lips freezing.
Oh, look out loose! You're trying to kill me.
I reckon someone's done that.
Steve!
Sabotage.
Spielberg.
Al-Qaeda, mate, they're up there.
Mick had been riding with his nuts loose for a few Ks. He's trying to blame
Look
me.
at that! Shit!
Jason reads around, that's what it is.
Oh, one wheel.
Kinchrome Spanners to the rescue. They are our sponsor.
Check.
After a big lunch and a big laugh, we were set up once again for a textbook departure. We had to get to Harrietville. We were going via Mount Hotham. We were to meet up with Jason and Stones whose wife was going to have a baby any minute, and Jason who had had a family crisis.
Is that all of them?
No, I'm left once again. But this time I was blaming Mick a bait. I just had it serviced.
We'll pick a bait and hang around this bike.
As we headed over Mount Hotham via the road, the weather came in. It looked like it was going to turn. Our destination was the Harrietville pub as quickly as possible. We'd thrown a leg camera on Wes, just to give you the bird's eye view. And Wes was showing us how to use all the road. Looks like we're going to get a wet ass. As we made it to the Harrietville pub, poor old Wes was thawing out.
Trying to feel my lips again. Oh, freezing. Absolutely freezing.
Cold, very cold.
Bit cold coming down there?
Very, very cold across the top of the mountain.
As the boys grabbed a quick drink, Jason and Stones had arrived from Melbourne. I was playing a gig with Stones that night.
Mel busted me putting all my motorbike gear in my bag this morning, right? He goes, I thought you were going to play a gig. I am, but I'm going to go for a ride for a couple of hours. He goes, you're just a mongrel.
Hey.
Stones wasn't the only one in the shit.
Unconsciousness.
Coma.
Righto, he's right now, I'm off. Bullshit. No, I've got to go, you know. He's got a ride happening, he's all right, he'll come good. No, you can't go. No, I'm going. Big boy in the hospital. Then, then Luke comes in.
You ready?
We're ready, we're going, we're off.
Just before we took off, a local smartass showed us how to do it. We were just crusty old men. We were now off to Wandillagong pub where we were staying the night. Huffy took us via Cemetery Lane where he had one more little trick up his sleeve. After Cemetery Lane, the boys headed out. Buddha was in the lead with his XR400. Right behind him was Huffy on the KDM. This fire break was fairly greasy, full of washouts. To get to the top, you had to keep the speed up. It's also pretty rocky. Stones was making hard work of it on the DRZ 400. Pace was fairly important, and so far I was going okay. At this stage I thought I might be able to get to the top. Stones was having trouble keeping the front wheel down. This hill is a hell of a lot steeper than it looks on television. Big Wes on the 426 was cutting through the traffic and was looking good, till Mick got in the way. Looked like a fair bump to me.
Move all your toes, breathe, move all your fingers. Yeah. I copped the fucking biggest rock in the cock.
Really?
Oh, fuck. Oh, what do you think is hitting completely?
Oh, fuck.
As everyone came back for a second run, Mick's stack was a hot topic.
Now who took you out?
Now
who took you out?
First time I was getting up a hill. Yeah, right, Mick, you gotta go there. What happened?
I just was going up the inside, just caught his handlebars and dragged him straight on top of me, so
What happened?
I just went past him, caught his handlebar and he swung around and fell on top of me.
Who's that, Mick?
What happened, Mick?
Oh, he grabbed me handlebars and down I went. First time I was making it up a hill. I won't be able to get it down.
Couldn't ride a stick up a dead bear's ass, fair dinkum.
Hey, it wasn't my fault.
Mick's still a bit touchy about yesterday's stack.
Get up.
No, you'll be right. Throw your leg and start rolling. Pop the clutch.
I'm gonna fall bad.
No, you're not. No worse than any of the other hills you've done. You've done. Watch out!
As Mick took off, I was up his clacker in case he did fall off again. I didn't want to miss anything.
Yep.
As everyone headed back down for a second go, Anthony Smith was still having trouble with his front forks. They kept jamming up. Perfect landing.
There we go.
You alright, mate?
Yeah, no drama, it's no problem.
We were all ready for another crack. I lost my momentum after the first washout and wasn't looking good. I was in everyone's way and decided to stop there to watch. Anthony was flying now, but Stones looks like he's still having trouble. As I waited, I knew there was still some good riders to come. Huffy made it look easy on the KDM. And Dumpy went out with the stabiliser bars hanging. Head came up and didn't even leave the seat. Jeff was working his KDM 300 really hard. And Big Johnny Cohen was looking good in Terry's jacket. And then I heard Husey. He had a broken gear lever and was stuck in third, riding the clutch. Not a bad effort. I went back for another crack and with a bit of speed, I made it to the top. That night we were staying at the Wandy pub.
It's only 5 o'clock. A couple more hours ahead of me. No. Beer o'clock. Beer o'clock.
Beer o'clock it was. The Wandy pub are very accommodating, and they always get heaps of trail bike riders come through. As the boys packed up all their stuff and found their bags, Jason and I checked in.
We'll put these bikes on the veranda.
We're at the back. Wherever you want to put them. Wherever you feel safest and the best.
Can we sit in the bedrooms?
Sorry?
Put them in the bedrooms?
Look.
Have a look around the
Plenty
back.
of room out the back. I reckon ain't under that wood. Yeah, let's get this shed there and stuff, so yeah.
We decided on the front veranda. Just when Ma and Pa thought it was safe to go to the Wandy pub for a quiet beer, we all rocked in. That night, Stones and I had to get to a gig at the Bright Oval. It was a thank you party for all the CFA firefighters and the volunteers. And another barbie. Just what we need, a bit more bacon. As we played to thousands, the boys got pissed. To finish, a big fireworks display to thank the firefighters. I thought they were trying to put the fires out. That night we went back to the Wandy pub where we started jamming with some of the locals. It didn't take us long to get stuck into some of the boys either.
I saw him while I saw him go past, and I saw the video of him sliding on his ass.
That wasn't the only arse we were to see that night.
Well, man, I met Buddha, and hi Buddha to you. Buddha's probably trying to sleep with me. Living next door to Buddha. Buddha! Who the fuck is Buddha?
Knock it. Wake up. Come on, fellas. We've got to get moving, champ. Wakey, wakey! Church starts in 12 minutes. We're going. Come on.
The next morning, tech support Spider was up and at 'em. Poor old Uzi had been in bed since 6 o'clock last night.
Crook in the guts, mate. Got a bit of gastroenteritis yesterday, picked it up somewhere. Been here for a while.
Not good, eh?
Not the best.
Mick was a sorry sight after his nude run last night. He still was pissed.
You crook? Nah. Mate, not riding today.
Only pulled a heartstring. It's time for brekkie.
Did a good ride through there, Mick? You kept a chaser? Hawaiian.
Still had bacon in it.
The photo's known as the Lone Hand, and these guys toured up here on their trail bikes over 100 years ago.
Uzi was entertaining the troops.
And we're replicating this trip this weekend of these guys. The leader of the group had an IT, much similar to the one I'm riding.
That morning, Magoo, a local legend, joined us on his brand new CRF 450. Before we went out, we asked Magoo and Buddha for some tips.
There's a lot involved in riding properly and riding fast. To be able to ride fast for long, anybody can get on it and nail it and go up a road flat out at 100 mile an hour. That's easy. But to ride fast through the bush, through technical stuff, there's quite a lot involved.
What the bike's doing under you doesn't directly relate to what you're doing. So if you're sitting down, every bump and every twitch that the bike makes is going to unbalance you, whereas if you're standing up, it doesn't.
Yeah, a lot of weight distribution, your body position, clutch, rear brake. You know, I use the rear brake to turn a lot too. If you get in a little bit hot, load the rear brake with the clutch out. It drags the bike down a little bit, helps you pull it around the corner. You've got to be comfortable. It's like when you get in your car and your seat's too far forward and you're like this. You can't drive properly. So
People ride with your shoulders down beside your side. Doesn't give you as much movement if you ride with your shoulders up a bit. Then-
elbow, is it?
Yeah, and then you want to have a straight line, well, I do, have a straight line down through my brake lever and my clutch lever. Right, so that I'm not riding like that or like that. You're riding with your hand in a straight line down through there, and your hands don't get as tight.
Yeah.
And if you're riding up like that, you've got a bit more strength. If the front wheel starts getting knocked around, you got a lot more strength in your arms that way than you have this way.
Buddha, who lives next door to the pub, had a quick look at the
Running
IT.
repairs, bit of tack weld.
Bit of a weld.
Bit of tack weld will fix that. No, nothing will fix that.
Nothing will fix that. Nothing a new set of wheel bearings won't fix.
But it'll still go.
Actually, the bearings might be alright. It might be just the hub's flogged. You don't know.
As Husey welded the gear lever back on the IT,
Beautiful.
Buddha did some running repairs on mine.
Put a radiator hose. Had to tool them for the ride. What's your hourly rate for this, Buddha?
On a Sunday?
Yeah.
Quadruple time?
Yeah, no, you get away with 100 an hour. Can you see the whole bit?
As Magoo and Buddha were fixing my problem, Stones was trying to fix his own.
No worries, see when we get home. That's called in the shed. Meant to be in the car, driving home right now.
Cool.
Nah. You guys, you're on the road yet? Yeah, sort of. That's what you call on the road, yeah. Really on the road. How far are we going? I might go out for an hour and take off.
Famous last words. Today we'd lost Mick, but we'd gained Magoo. Huffy knew exactly where to take us. We were ready for a wet ass and some laughs. Huffy had just the hill for us. This is about the only time we ever saw Huffy nearly lose it.
Get in the rain.
Last night he was singing in the nude. The boys are on a mission, and this morning's early rain had made things very, very greasy. As Huffy led the pack, we were heading into the clouds to the top of this hill. Husey was keeping pace and Stones was struggling. Huffy was still in front as we headed into the clouds. John Brooker was a close second and Jeff the plumber third. Glenn the pastry chef was fourth, nearly took me out, and the postie was fifth. Everyone wanted to get to the top first. But not everyone made it. That's why we called it Carnage Hill. Magoo was out in front on the 450. And amongst the four strokes I could hear the IT coming. That's worth a second look. Nice style, Husey. I had a vantage point halfway up as Magoo went past, then Huffy. Jeff the plumber was still up their clacker. Down the bottom, Husey was on the IT and not stopping. Attempt number 3. As Stones went past, Glenn's big night was catching up with him. In amongst the next group, I could hear the IT. Husey took out Dumpy and Anthony Smith in the same crash, but that wasn't going to stop him. No matter what, he wanted to get to the top of this hill. John Brooker showed us how to do it on the KTM 400. It's time to officially get to know Dumpy.
Dumpy! Plenty of right?
Yeah. Oh, just the fuel's leaking out on me.
Not...
This hill is a hell of a lot steeper than it looks.
Hey, that's a hire bike.
Oh, Jesus. I think I need 5 minutes.
As Husey made it back down the bottom, he was determined to get back to the top. He had that look in his eye. Attempt number 4. Meanwhile, Stones was stuck halfway.
If only your wife could see you now.
I'm on my way home, Dale.
Here comes Husey.
He had the IT cranked as he went past Stones. And he made it. Johnny was trying to start from halfway up the hill. It's a tough ask, especially in the wet conditions.
Oh, bugger it.
What are you feeling now?
Feel like throwing up for a start. Get a little bit hot and flustered and frustrated, but hey, I'll get there. I'll go down here a little bit and I'll give it another go.
This hill was really steep, and as Stones tried another approach, Dumpy and Glenn made it all the way back down the bottom for attempt number 3. Anthony, who'd been taken out by Husey in the IT, was still having fork trouble. At the bottom of Carnage Hill, tech support were in control.
Yeah, there's someone taking. Anthony's gonna go. Go, Anthony.
Tell him to get off the walkie-talkie, you're fucking the sound up.
Get off the walkie-talkie, you're mucking the sound up.
And they were working like a well-oiled machine. With his forks fixed, it's Anthony's 3rd attempt. As he went past me, he had the speed required and looked like he was home. You can see how steep it is there.
Hey,
I'm fucked.
hey, stop it. What?
Hey, I'm fucked.
Stones had made it to my camera
I'm
spot.
going to give another crack though.
Just stay here, will you? Stay where you are, don't move on and get behind you.
Yeah. Come to head on.
Here comes Dumpy.
He's fucked. He's fucking gone. He's fucked. We're fucked. Woohoo! Fucking hell. He's done well. You did well, mate.
Just there.
That was Dumpy's third attempt.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Stones was only
Johnny?
coming out for an hour.
Stephen? Hello, wife. Are we home soon?
What are you rolling it?
Yeah.
Good effort, Dumpy.
Fucking flat battery. Fuck.
As Stones headed back to the bottom, Dumpy still had time for a chat to the camera.
Far out. I'll just have to try again.
Have another gip.
Meanwhile, Stones
get
could
this,
still taste last night.
So don't throw up sooner or later.
As Dumpy made it down, he was going for attempt number 5. Stones hit the hill pissed off. Or still pissed. This was his 4th attempt. As he got stuck in the rut, I thought he was a goner. The others were all waiting at the top in amongst the clouds. He made it.
Third time lucky.
Oh, you haven't got up yet?
Nah.
Dumpy's so tired he's 1 attempt short.
Haven't got up
It's
yet.
actually his 4th attempt.
I'll be right to go. Just let him know I'm coming up. Okay. There's 2 more coming up.
Can Dumpy join the boys at the top? Dumpy stayed put as Glenn Jones, who was still a bit seedy, went for attempt number 3. And made it.
Dump, what do you reckon?
Might take me all day.
You going again?
I might as well.
Mick should have taken a leaf out of Dumpy's book.
It's not easy.
As Dumpy went down for attempt number 5, the boys came down from the top to get themselves a vantage point and encourage poor old
We want to
Dumpy.
hang a bit of shit on him as he's going past. Everyone's going. Dumpy. Pull up there.
Mick was down the bottom giving Dumpy the good news.
Are they waiting for you to get up there?
Yeah,
Are they?
They're waiting for you, mate, yeah.
Righto. There's no one coming down, or?
No.
No, we're all waiting on you.
He didn't sound confident.
I don't know. Looks like they're coming down.
They're going to stop halfway.
Are they?
Cheer you on.
And a bit of moral support from the postie.
It's not a sewing machine.
Attempt number 5. Come on, Dumpy, you can do it.
It's not a bad workout.
Hey, Magoo, any tips?
Miss- What about miss the log? I seen it, but the back end just flicked out on me. I didn't have any choice, really.
Nice log.
Yeah, it seems to be the only one on the whole track.
What do you reckon, boys? One more go?
All right, you'll have to give me 5 minutes.
Just enough time for a quick race to the top between Magoo, Uppy and Jason. Magoo on the CRF 450, Uppy on the KTM 400 and Jason on his XR 650.
Fuck, this will be good.
Bike's on now.
One more
How
go.
far beyond that is
If
it?
it doesn't happen,
Well, 3/4 of the way up where the bikes are.
I'll
And then it plateaus
call it
out,
quits
is
for
it?
the day on that hill.
Oh, it just keeps going up.
Dumpy had had his 5 minutes. Come on, Dumpy. The boys were egging him on. It looked like he had a bit more speed this time. Looking good. Whoop. That's close enough. With everyone to the top, or nearly, it was time to head home. We had to head back to Jason's and we still had a fair way to go. As the weather closed in, we were now officially wet. As we headed through Bright in an orderly fashion, I realised we were one rider short. John, or Stones as we'd been calling him, had snuck off. He had to get home for the birth of his second child, or his wife would kill him.
I'm going home. Mandy. Thanks a lot for the weekend. Yeah. See you next time. I'll have a baby then.
He had the long trip down the Hume with a trusty DRZ in the back. Meanwhile, we had to get over the river. We tried the bridge first, and the success rate was low. Rubber tyres and wet timber don't mix, as Jason found out. Magoo made it over. Or nearly did. So, time to go through. I was the guinea pig. So far my feet were quite dry, and I intended to keep them that way. Success. I had no idea who that was, but I sure knew Humpty Dumpty. After Carnage Hill, we needed a bit of rehydration. Huffy was next and made it look easy. Then came Husey. The IT had made it this far, although I was making hard work of this. The IT had had enough. Husey was still entertaining us all till the end. And Anthony's forks were holding out. Jeff was drowning himself. And John Booker was taking his time in the KTM. Big Johnny Cohen was paddling his way through on the 426. Nice jacket, Johnny. And Magoo was making hard work of it on the 450. Glenn was doing it easy, standing up on the pegs. And Big Wes had the 426 pumping. Last but not least was Jason, the postie. He went the long way round to pick up the mail. With that over, we were back at Jason's in no time. We were all intact, all except Terry. Jason, Huffy, Magoo, Luke, I don't know that guy, Johnny Brooker, Jeff, Anthony, Glenn Jones, Johnny Cohen, myself, Big Wes, Dumpy, but last but not least, the IT and Husey. As Husey did a lap of honour, he rang the IT's neck one more time.
Try and blow it up now.
3 days of mayhem.
Well done. Can't believe you did it.
I couldn't believe it either. As the heavens opened, we were glad to get off those bikes. Tech support had the fire roaring, and that also changed the menu.
Good if the chicken was a bit hotter.
It's pretty damn good the way it is. Be sitting there for a week, I reckon I'd still have a crack at it, Wes.
As the boys hoed in, they started to recount some of their favourite moments.
Yeah, the first hill climb this morning. After we got to the top, we come back down, there's just bikes scattered everywhere, all over the hill. It's like they dropped out of a helicopter or something. Oh, mixed crash, for sure. That takes a cake, that does.
Big round of applause for the IT.
I'd like to give my highlight to the IT because it done all the work. It's an awesome bike, thank you. The suspension was actually the hardest bit. It wasn't much at all. Yeah, unfortunately I missed out on a good night last night. Picked up some bug, don't know where, a bit of gastroenteritis. It's a nice word for it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, there's a 4 kilos of bacon we consumed, right? Every day. I'm never going to eat a barbecue again. And the other highlight was watching Mick run through the pub last night in his birthday suit. That was pretty good.
Righto, Johnny.
The highlight would be watching some of these metal guys ride. Sitting down there back there just watching them. And Big Terry give me his jacket. It's pretty good of him.
Should we have a minute's silence
for Big Terry?
I reckon the highlight would have to be probably the never say die attitude of the technical support team. They're always there, Barbie going, and what a team, eh? Couldn't have done it without them.
3 cheers for tech support.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Major sponsors.
We better not forget the sponsors, King Chrome Hand Tools
Get a pen up on that.
and Accessoride.
Quality tools.
Yeah, the highlight would have to be the hills today and the river crossings were really good fun.
Let's see the IT one more time. And Dumpy, the publican?
I don't know whether that hill was a highlight or not.
It certainly was for us.
But I'm with Husey, the IT. Age and beauty, what can you say?
The whole weekend was excellent, so there wasn't really a low point apart from Terry doing some damage to his arm, and as they say, I reckon it's the most fun you can have with your clothes on.
Should have told that to Mick.
Yesterday, dinner plane track, surviving that near-death experience with a whopping great gum tree.
The pub last night. That was pretty good. I think that was a bit that's unbeatable. Not often we get a chance to listen to some good musos. We go riding every day. Not where I leave it.
And what did Magoo think of the standard of us city folk?
Everywhere, anywhere from good to bad. No, you're all right. Everyone's here. No, only one injury.
Well, they came round the corner and they all ran over to that bridge. But Terry was lying there, he looked like a fucking 20-kilo fridge. He's lying there and he said, hey, where's the band? He picked up his arm and he just got his hand.
Grabbed me glove and just picked that up and the arm bent in the middle.
The worst thing he said, hey, you know what?
Me missus will kill me.
Oh, that's it.
Hold it, hang on.
Anyway, I'm alright. It's just pride more than anything. The rest of the crap that goes with it. So. Falling off the bike wasn't that onto the ground didn't hurt. It was the pain of the, when hitting your net was just incredible.